Commitment. And commitment is often tested during difficult periods. In a difficult time, that is when you know if somebody is committed to a cause or not. Like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Today, even when they are threatening him with a death sentence, he is still committed to the cause of Biafra. He never wavered. Wazirike was threatened and he couldn't stand it. He took bribe and they left him to go. Wazirike was threatened, not even with death sentence, with imprisonment. They cajoled him and made his people desert him. And he hands off. Commitment. Mazi Simon Ekpa, even in detention in Finland today, he is still committed to the cause. In all the messages he has been sending from detention, all he tells us is to unite, remain there, don't move an inch. He is still committed to the cause of the struggle. Even when he has lost anything, everything that he has acquired, he is still committed to the cause. Commitment is a quality you can see in a leader, and you will know that these are the people you need to stand behind them. These are people that deserve accolade. Commitment. Commitment is often tested during difficult period, like the time that we are. This is a very difficult period for the restoration of Biafra. A very difficult period. Many of us today are no longer broadcasting the way we do before. Many of us are not even speaking about Biafra anymore. Many of us have just decided to hands off and walk away. And whatever will be, let it be. Many of us, I'm not blaming them, but there are, because of the temptations, the obstacles, because of things that you see, it takes extraordinary strength for one to continue in this cause. Sometimes when you come, the experience you get from your fellow Biafrans, the way they treat you, the way you see Biafrans treat each other, the way they speak about each other, the way they attack each other, the way they push propaganda, blackmail each other, sometimes it is disgusting and discouraging. It takes commitment to continue in this journey. I know the battle I face every day on my platform. A platform that have been here for decades, still facing challenges to survive. I know the attack. They have tried to hack my platform. They hacked it before I recover it back. After I recover it, now they are reporting it and making sure that their platform goes down. And this report is not coming from outside. It is coming from the same people that claim to be fighting for Biafra. They want to bring my platform down by all means necessary. The same people that say they are looking for freedom. So when you see these things happening, it takes commitment for you to remain in the path. Look at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Even when he is facing a danger in his life, people are still there attacking him. The same person that is there for you. Look at Mazi Simon Ekpa. The same person that is putting his life on the line to save you. You are attacking him. It takes extraordinary commitment to be in this very struggle till now. It is easy to remain committed when circumstances are favorable. When circumstances are favorable, it is very easy to remain committed. But the time you can test commitment is a difficult time. It's a difficult time. Today you see many people who jump out today to come and talk. I mean, some of them is just because of the gain they are making in media online. Some is just because of gain they are making online. Some of them are being paid, some are not paid, some are just looking for influence, some are hoping to get one gain or the other because of one favor or the other. They're talking. But there are people who has been here for decades, who have lost friends, lost constants. lost their image, and they are still there. They are going nowhere. You can imagine our liberation army that are in the bush now for how many years, and there's no date of coming out. You can imagine such kind of commitment. Many of them have lost members of their families, and they are still in the cause. Even as they have committed their entire life to the cause, lost their family, still yet the same people they are protecting is fighting them. The same people they are protecting are blackmailing them. And they are still in the cause. That is commitment. Not when it favors you. Commitment when the situation is not favorable. That is commitment. And when you see such people, respect them. I don't care the group they belong. I don't care the title they hold. That is why I don't spend my time attacking somebody unnecessarily. I focus on the unity of purpose. As long as you are focused on that position, we must not agree in all things. I have the right to disagree with you on certain areas. You equally have the right to disagree with me in certain areas. But that disagreement should not lead to chaos. It should not lead to personal attack. No. Because disagreement is natural. It will always be there. The greater test of commitments comes when there are setbacks. The greater test of commitments comes when there are setbacks, legal challenges, like you see in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Nnamdi. Public criticism, you see it today in our leaders. Or uncertainty, and yet the person remains committed. The person stands where he or she stands and not shaking. That is what is called commitment. History contains many examples of movements that endured because supporters believed in remaining committed to their objective despite adversities. Biafran people have shown commitment. That is why, even in the face of the deaths we are seeing, in the face of the proscription of IPOB, in the face of unleashing the terrorists against us, yet we continue to ask for our freedom. We continue to speak for self-determination. We continue to speak loud, even when they decide to take out our supreme leader from us with their propaganda and blackmail. We still remain committed and we continue to move on. We will never ever back down. And wherever you are as a Biafran, you have the duty to remain committed as we have always been. We have come a long way, and this is not the time to back down. We will never back down. Loyalty is another concept that deserves careful consideration. Loyalty. Now we come to those of us who are members in this Biafran struggle. Whether any group you belong, any title you give yourself, I have said it several times. Freedom of association is one of the things that is promoted in Biafra. So you are entitled to join any mushroom group that makes you feel better. Any mushroom group that makes you feel strong, you're free to join them. You are free to join them. I don't have anything against you joining any group you want to join. I do not have anything against you. You have the right to join any group if that makes you feel better. But while you're joining, there is one thing that has to be at the back of your mind: unity of purpose. Let the purpose for which you are gathering in that your mushroom group be for the restoration of Biafra. There is something everybody can offer. There are those who are very good in diplomacy. Focus on your diplomacy. Those who are very good on defense. Focus on your defense. Those who are very good on evangelism. Focus on your evangelism. Those who are very good on uniting the people. Continue to unite the people. That is division of labor. Every one of us must not be in one group. And we must not have the same opinion. Disagreement is normal. In our families, we disagree. Parents disagree with their children. Brothers and sisters disagree. Husband and wife disagree. But let that disagreement not be for the destruction of each other, as we are seeing today. So, loyalty is another concept that deserves careful consideration. Healthy loyalty should always be balanced with critical thinking. Did you hear that? Loyalty. If loyalty must be healthy, it must be balanced with critical thinking. You don't say you want to be loyal, so whatever the person throws at you, you take it. No. So when we are talking about loyalty, it goes with critical thinking. It should be balanced. While you are loyal, always applying critical thinking. Don't just be a sheepish follower. Like I always say in this platform. There are people that get angry when I say don't be a sheepish follower. I didn't even call any name, but because they know that they are sheepish followers, once they hear it from my mouth, they get angry. I always say it on my platform. Even me that is speaking, don't just believe everything I say without making critical thinking and investigating and asking questions. But some people, when I say do not be a sheepish follower, they get angry. And they think loyalty is blind followership. No. Healthy loyalty should always be balanced with critical thinking. Supporting a cause does not require abandoning independent judgment. Supporting a cause does not require abandoning independent judgment. As a human being that has brain, as a human being created of Chukwuka, you are supposed to always have your independent judgment, even as you are supporting a cause. At the same time, movements often rely on members who remain dedicated during difficult periods. Strong organizations like the IPOB that we see today usually encourage both commitments and constructive discussion. That is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has always promoted. That is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has always supported. He has always encouraged both commitment and constructive discussions. But there are some people today that don't want discussion. They don't want you to ask questions. They just want you to follow. Sheepishly. They don't even want you to use your common sense. They don't want you to have an independent judgment. But I bet you, healthy loyalty always is balanced with critical thinking. So don't say because I'm talking about loyalty, you should be stupidly loyal. No. No. And the question many observers ask is this: can a movement maintain unity while also encouraging open dialogue and respectful disagreements? This is a question. A question that is seeking for an answer. And every one of us in this platform, wherever you're watching, whether on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube, or on X, I want you to join in answering this question. Can a movement maintain unity while also encouraging open dialogue and respectful disagreement? What is your answer? Turning to the legal cases involving Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and our Prime Minister, Mazi Nnamdi. It is important to distinguish between legal allegations, ongoing judicial proceedings, and established facts. Very, very important. You know, we are in the days of social media. Some people, some content creators, they wake up and they announce something and they run with it. I have seen many. There was one that was raining some time ago. They brought in their share and they say, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is leaving Sokoto. He's going to be taking everything from Sokoto. Now he have taken. People come and create things that doesn't add up. Simply because they want to seek for attention. They come and tell you, oh, this and this visited Mazi Nnamdi Kanu just to create attention. In the case of our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Samuel, we must be very careful the kind of information we share. We must be very watchful what we say and what we hear. We must filter information before we share. So many people are cashing on them. They know how we love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and they know that our ears are open to hear information. Likewise, Mazi Samuel. You will see some people sit in their room and they create something that doesn't exist. As we know today, our Prime Minister Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be coming to court on the 5th of August for his appeal. And that appeal is going to last until 21st. And before the appeal, the Biafran people are holding protests on the 4th of August. Mazi Nnamdi personally requested that the Biafrans show forth in Finland in solidarity with him. He also personally requested for the international lawyer that was presented, and the international lawyer has met with him one-on-one and they talked. But today, when you talk about this international lawyer, some people are still kicking against it. They speak against the international lawyer. A lawyer that have met Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was pleased with him and asked Biafra to support this lawyer to make sure he carries his job. The international lawyer, the major work he's going to do there is to make sure that the right of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is protected and defended. Because there was a lot of human rights abuse on the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Most especially, the act of not allowing his evidence to be presented to the prosecutor. The rejection of the evidence in the hand of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu by the prosecutor is a human rights abuse, a very strong one at that. And you cannot fight that with finished lawyer. You cannot fight that with a government lawyer. You have to fight that with your independent lawyer, international lawyer from outside. And this lawyer has met with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the assignment has been given to him. He is relating with the Foreign Affairs Minister of Finland, United Nations, EU, and the United States to make sure that they put word and satellites upon the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We are not asking for pity. All we are asking is that the rule of law should be respected. Because we are confident that our Prime Minister is innocent. We are confident. It is clear he's an innocent person. With what is happening in Nigeria today, with all the testimony that is coming today and the confession that is coming, what is going to hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu back? They try to hold him with tax this and tax that. If it is tax, then we know how to deal with it. But for anybody to bring terrorism, trying to tax self-determination as terrorism, that is unacceptable. And we will not allow that to fly. Likewise, in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, sentencing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu with a repeat law. After freeing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they took him back to court again and revised the law against their own law. And they want us to be silent. We will not be silent. So we will speak about it. Now you see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, as he has put in appeal, the Nigerian government had 30 days to respond. They had 30 days to respond, but now it is more than 30 days and they have not responded. All these are plans to delay and to derail the appeal of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The appeal has been filed, and the number of days that the government need to have to respond, it has elapsed, and up to today they have not. And the world is watching. Legal process exists so that allegation can be examined through evidence. So why wouldn't you admit the evidence provided by Mazi Ekpa? You see, when we talk about the abuse of the rights of our leaders, it is so evident. Legal process exists so that allegation can be examined through evidence. So why did they refuse to admit the evidence that Mazi Ekpa has against the Nigerian government? True legal arguments and independent judicial decision making. The outcome of those proceedings should ultimately be determined through the courts rather than public opinion alone. But you see, in Nigeria, they destroy you with public opinion. They use their media to create public opinion to destroy you. That is what Nigeria does. Look at what they did to Tizani. Look at what they did to Tizani, an innocent woman. They use media to tag her a fraudster. Today, even a child in Nigeria, once you mention Tizani, the only thing that comes to the mind of that child is fraud. This is how far they have damaged her reputation. Look at the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Look at the case of the Igbos in Nigeria. They use their media to destroy human being and their reputation. Look at Mazi Ekpa. They use their propaganda and their media to tarnish his image, call him different kind of thing, and paint him, creates public opinion. Many people today that hate Mazi Ekpa doesn't know why they hate him. People who doesn't even know what he was doing, who were not even sure of whether he committed what they said he committed, but they align with the public opinion created by Nigerian government. Is that the way justice seems to pass? No. Legal process exists through legal means. Legal processes exist so that allegation can be examined. Allegation can be examined through evidence, legal argument, independent judicial decision making. But in the case of the zoo, they use their media to create public opinion to tarnish the image of the innocent. And many have lost their life in that process. And this brings us to an issue that extends far beyond individual case, the importance of the rule of law. The importance of the rule of law. Sometimes we think that the rule of law is only disobeyed in Nigeria, even across the world, across border. In the Western world, the rule of law is not respected in most cases. There are still sacred cows here and there. The only thing is that the rate at which the rule of law is being trampled upon in Nigeria is much more greater than any other place in the world. The rule of law means that legal standard should apply fairly and consistently. That is what we're asking for. The rule of law. In the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and in the case of Mazi Ekpa, we are asking for the rule of law. It means legal standards should be applied fairly and consistently. It includes the protection of due process. access to legal representation, and the opportunity for cases to be heard by competent courts. These principles are widely recognized as fundamental to justice. What we are seeing today in Nigeria against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, what do you call it? It is nothing short than injustice. The only way to describe what is happening in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is injustice in the Zoological Republic. And we talk about the human rights. Human rights are equally important. You can't talk about justice without human rights. International human rights standard emphasize dignity, fair legal procedure, freedom from arbitrary treatment, and respect for fundamental liberties. We saw these things were not respected in the cases of our leader. We saw Mazi Nnamdi detained for a long time, even before the case charges were brought against him. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu kidnapped an extraordinary rendition to Nigeria. And the whole world is watching at this, looking at this abuse of rights, and they say nothing. And you ask me, are we living in a just world? Are we living in a just world? These principles are intended to protect everyone. Human rights principle is intended to protect everyone, regardless of political belief or affiliation. Human rights is for all. It is a right, not a privilege. It is a right. And that right is for all, regardless your belief or affiliation. Many civil society organizations around the world regularly call for government to uphold this standard in all legal proceedings. Is it being upheld in the case of our leaders? The answer is no. Likewise, government often emphasize their responsibility to maintain public order and enforce the law. In democratic societies, these objectives are ideally pursued together. Protecting public safety while respecting fundamental rights. These are what the Zoological Republic government knows about, and yet they disobey. This balance is not unique to Nigeria. Countries across the world continue to debate how best to uphold security, justice, and civil liberty at the same time. For all the viewers across the world that are following developments relating to our supreme leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or our Prime Minister Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it is very important to stay informed through reliable source. It is important to stay informed through reliable source because there are a lot of false information that are flying on the air. Just like when we talked about public opinion, using public opinion against people. The government of Nigeria is always creating narrative. They will manufacture a narrative and they push it out there, and people just like when they told you that Mazi Nnamdi said that he's a content creator, something that never existed. They push out a word, and their media will blow these words out as if it's true. A lie from the pit of hell. That Mazi Nnamdi said he's a content creator. How? They also said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu denied IPOB when he was brought to the court in the first time. And when they dish out these lies, if you are not careful, You'll be carried away with the lies. It is important to stay informed. True, reliable source. Distinguish verified facts from rumors. We must be very careful. Distinguish verified facts from rumors and avoid spreading misinformation. Public debate is strongest when it is grounded in evidence rather than speculation. So many are just speculating, not knowing what they are doing, without evidence. Just like the ones accusing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They accuse him of buying a house in Kenya, accuse him of marrying a wife, accuse him of this and that. And these are people that claim to be reasonable and responsible without any single evidence. They will on their camera and speak and talk trash from morning till night. No single evidence, just speculations. And now I understand why some of them have the confidence to be saying what they're saying. Is because the information was coming from somebody that was close to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Somebody who was supposed to be the person to protect Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the ex-wife, was the one pumping. And when she dished out these lies, people believe it and they confidently come online and begin to speak about it. We have seen a lot in this Biafra struggle. That is why when you hear a thing, don't just issue a statement. Go back and think again. Withdraw yourself and think and reason again and again. Another important aspect of today's discussion is international attention. International attention. We have been shouting about this, talking about it, because just like our Prime Minister said, that freedom cannot come from Nigeria. Freedom will come from the outside. Freedom will come from the outside, from Israel, from the United States, from other Western world. Freedom is not going to come from inside. But it is you and I that will make that to happen from the inside. Don't say when we say freedom does not come from, we come from outside. For that you fold your hand. No. It is we in the country that will do something that will make that freedom to come. It is we that will create the situation for intervention. It is you and I that will create the scenario for intervention, international intervention. It will come to a stage where the world cannot sit back and watch. International organization, foreign governments, legal observers, and human rights groups often monitor cases that attract significant public interest, like the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the case of our Prime Minister, Mazi Nnamdi. They are watching. International organizations are watching. Foreign governments are watching. Legal observers are watching, and human rights groups are watching. Now you can see why it is important that we have somebody, an international lawyer, that will touch like this. Even though they are watching, you need to make a move and draw their attention for them to intervene. Police, they are watching, but they cannot take action except you react. Just like the situation of the Zoological Republic today. A situation of the zoo where a country is being run by a drug baron who wakes up and appropriates any amount he wants for himself, borrow whatever he likes for himself, and nothing happens because the people in the zoo cannot stand up for themselves. They have protested bad governance, they couldn't finish it. They protested NSAS, they couldn't finish it. They protested in any move they have made, they can't finish it. And you must stand your ground before the international organizations will intervene. You will start it. It can't just happen. It will not just happen. You need to start something. And that is what the Biafrans are doing. And that is why I tell you, if Mazi Simon ever has been in charge till now, there is nothing that will make Biafra not to be on the table. If Mazi Simon Ekpa was allowed from 2024 of declaration till today, in 2 years' time, Oh my God. We don't need to sit here and be begging Donald Trump to come. They will be the ones to be begging us to come on the table and discuss. By now, they should be the ones begging for us to come and sit on the table and talk. But only Chukwu Okekabema knows why what happened. And today it's like we are just starting from the beginning all over. Today we are just stagnated. We are just stagnated and starting all over. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today reactivating the IPOB, sacking the bunch of idiots and criminals who have been hanging and parading themselves as freedom fighters. And today, IPOB have been reborn, which is our source. That is where every one of us came from. That is where every one of us come from. And we must support the IPOB 100%. The new HOD, Chris Wogo, must be prayed for and supported. And remember, in our loyalty, we apply critical thinking. We don't follow sheepishly. We appreciate the inauguration and we welcome them. We will support them to any level. Whatever they bring on the table, we will follow. But with critical thinking. That is how our loyalty goes. International organizations, foreign government and local observers and human rights groups often monitor cases that attract significant public interest. Such attention can contribute to broader discussions about legal standard, judicial independence, and respect for human rights. You see where the international lawyer comes in. At the same time, different organizations may reach different conclusions, and it is important to engage with their findings carefully and thoughtfully. As citizens and observers, we should encourage respectful dialogue. The Biafran people have always been open to dialogue. Biafran people under Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Ekpa has always been open for dialogue. The door has never been shut. The only people that do not want dialogue is the contraption called Nigeria. Instead, they prefer to dialogue with terrorists. We have seen them dialogue with terrorists. We have seen them pay compensation to terrorists. We have seen them sponsor terrorists. We have seen them re-employ terrorists. But when it comes to people who are genuinely seeking for their freedom, they have refused to speak, dialogue, or talk with them. Even when we have left the door open, the Biafran people have always left the door open for dialogue. As citizens and observers, we will continue to encourage respectful dialogue rather than hostility. Disagreement is inevitable. Remember, we will always disagree, more especially within ourselves in the course of this journey. Disagreement is inevitable. In any society, people must disagree. But respectful engagement allows different perspectives to be had without resulting to insult or violence. Respectful engagement, that is one thing we lack within ourselves. Our ego will not allow us to engage in respectful engagements. Some people they just